it going, everybody? Welcome to the stream. Glad everyone is here. What a glorious Tuesday night it is. Very Tuesday-y. Out of all the Tuesdays I've had, this one definitely has more to it. You know? I think it's yeah, it's gonna be a good night. What are you doing? Oh my god. Yeah, so today we are back in the Dark Souls 2 Massacre Run, ladies and gentlemen. What a run this has been and will continue to be on into the future. If you don't know what this is all about, basically, we murder everything. That's what we do in this run. We have to kill everything in the whole area, so we go area by area of the game. So in the whole area, we have to kill every single enemy and the boss without dying. And we can't use bonfires except for the starting bonfire of the area in which we're in. So it gets pretty tedious, pretty rage inducing as time goes on. But it's also fun because we're playing Peak Souls 2. We've done this already through all of Dark Souls 1. Last year, we did a Dark Souls 1 Massacre Run. Beat all of Dark Souls 1, massacring our way through. And today we continue Dark Souls 2. What area are we in? It's been a while since we ran this run. Kind of forgot where we are. I think... I don't remember. We'll load in and figure out where the F we are. But we're somewhere in the beginning of the game. I think we're still trying to run the last giant. I think is what we're trying to do. But the friggin' turtle bros on the little castle wall are effing us up pretty bad. I'm not gonna lie. We have a little bit of news tonight, not a ton, but just like some more Neo 3 DLC stuff, some more info about the Neo 3 DLC dropped on the on their official website today, or yeah, last night maybe, I guess it was. At some point over the past 24 hours, more info was dropped. We're going to go over that and a couple other minor things. Nothing too revolutionary. What's up, Mike? The Massacre Run returns. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Jagger's Mind Daughter. Jagger Mind Daughter. I don't know how you say that exactly, but thanks for dropping by the stream. Said you never miss a short and rarely miss a chance to pop in to the lives with my various accounts. Keep up the amazing work. Thank you so much. Glad you stopped by. Thanks for watching the channel. Without you guys, I'd just be talking to a camera. I guess I do that either way, but you know what I mean. It's good to have people watch what you do, is what I'm trying to tell you. Tarnished Flames, what's good, brother? How are you? I'm doing good. I'm very tired today. I was asleep actually for up until I got up to start the stream. That's why we're a little late today. I've had very little sleep the past 2 days, and I'm gonna get very little sleep tomorrow or tonight and tomorrow. So yeah, my next 2 days are gonna be pretty rough, but it'll get better after that, though. It'll get better after that. So after today, we have no stream tomorrow. On Thursday, our plan is to check out Mistfall Hunter, because it's a new Souls-like extraction game that launches on Thursday. Pretty interesting concept. I've played it a little bit throughout the development of the game. So we're going to try that on Thursday. And then Friday is when the Relic, the First Guardian, drops. And we're going to try that on Friday. So should be a good couple streams coming up towards the end of this week. And then next week, another jam-packed week of awesome, amazing. The Beast of Reincarnation drops next week. We'll be playing that. on August 3rd. On Monday, we'll be playing Beast of Reincarnation. And then we'll be jumping into... We'll probably just play that all week if I had to guess. I think there might be one other thing that we got to try out next week, but for the most part, we're going to be rocking Beast of Reincarnation next week, which I'm super excited for. Which I'll go into more on Monday. I'll go into more. I don't want to say too much right now, but we'll talk about that more on Monday. I'm excited for Beast of Reincarnation. That's going to be good. But for now, though, we got effing stuff to do. We got friggin', we gotta F this up. You know what I'm saying? Where's it at? We need some musica. Let me get this right there. That's what we need. That's the pepper. Massacre. That's our character's name. What a goated name for a Massacre Run character. Massacre. Oh yes. You got to love... I just remembered the glorious weapon durability in Dark Souls 2. I think we might... Oh god, he's already aggroed. And the aggro range. Let me turn this down a little bit. It looks like it's hitting pretty high there. I just finished my final exams last week, and I think that I've done pretty good. And months from now, I'll be at college. I'm really excited about the next part of my life. That's awesome, bro. Congrats on finishing out the final exams. What are you going to go to college for? I hit the 40-hour mark on Black Flag today, trying to finish it up before Beast of Reincarnation comes out. You better hurry, bro. There's not too long to wait now. Holy God. That was dumb of me. Yeah, Beast of Reincarnation launches on Tuesday, I think, right? We'll be playing it on Monday. I think it's Tuesday. Is it Tuesday it launches? I don't remember. Soon. August 4th, which is Tuesday? Okay, yeah. So we're playing it. We're actually going to play it on Monday, and it launches on Tuesday. Destroyed. Dovahkiin, thanks for the super chat yet again, sir. You are a goat of support. I just self-funded my bachelor's degree in massacring these nuts. Hey, what an honorable degree that is, too. People say we need more doctors in the world. No, we need more people massacring these nuts. That's what we need, actually. Petroleum engineering, bro. That sounds very difficult and highly specialized. You must be a smart dude. Da-ding, da-ding, da-ding. Ah. Oh my God. We're gonna get them all back in front of us again. We don't want any. We do not want any gankage. Dark Souls 2 likes to gank you. So if you want to out gank the gank, you have to position yourself to be ungankable. Look how fast I can climb ladders. I must be Mexican. Let him come on down. Come on down, Bessie. Come on down, Bessie. Up we go. I can mix petroleum and Estus flax to enlarge these nuts, Mr. Flame asking for. That's a good question. That was actually the first thing that popped into my mind when he said he was gonna be a petroleum engineer. I was like, this is my time to find out what I've always wanted to know. But I didn't want to be rude, you know. It's like sort of like when you have that friend who's a doctor and then every time you see him, you're asking him some kind of health related question because you don't want to go to the doctor. I didn't want to be that guy, you know. I just pimp smacked him across his goddamn face. What a loser. You're gonna let another man do that to you and then just die? What a wuss, bro. Let's not get ganked by that dude over there. Well, I almost went in there and got caught by the third hit. I almost did. Luther. Hey, hey. Bring me these nuts, yeah. Everyone is dead. I am the king. Golden Paladin, what's up, bro? I'm getting cable on the 4th and 3 months of free Wi-Fi because I was being overcharged. I mean, that sucks and is awesome at the same time, right? Sucks that you were being overcharged, but at least you get Wi-Fi. Cable, huh? It seems like cable's kind of dying to me. Like, almost everybody is switching to streaming services, it seems like. I legit haven't had cable since like 2016 maybe. So like 10 years, which is crazy to think about that 2016 was 10 years ago. There, finally. I do it. God dang. Decided to study petroleum engineering for a while for two main reasons. One, my country is really rich in resources, especially petrol and natural gases. Two, it pays well. I'm sure it does. Yeah. The first thing that comes to mind when someone says petroleum engineer is friggin' a Bugatti and a mansion. I'm sure it pays very, very well. I'm only getting it because Wi-Fi and cable deal is cheaper than Wi-Fi on its own. That's weird. So cable's dying so hard, they basically have to pay you to take it. And I know a little bit about paying to take it, you know what I mean? I'm just being honest. I swear those arrows have friggin' trackers on them. If you sit there for too long, oh my god. There's no way. What just hit me? Oh, that dude. Holy god. He's a sniper! Okay. Woo! I saw that arrow coming and I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to get out of animation in time. That part is very difficult to navigate. I'm just telling you the truth. Honestly, I'll take whatever discounts I can get. I'm a bit of a miser when it comes to money. Hey, that's a good way to be. Especially in today's economy. You really have to, you have to be a penny pincher these days. Unless you just got that paper everywhere, you know what I'm saying? You know what I don't understand? I legitimately do not understand how that attack misses so often. That's happened to me so many times, and he's like right there. Still wearing the jacket my father wore in the 80s. Hey, now it's probably come back in style. Things like that just cycle in and out of style, you know what I mean? Hey, Dover King, thanks for another super chat, buddy, dude. I don't know how I'm gonna thank you. I'm gonna have to come up with a special like animation to play every time you super chat or something. Yo, Matt, Forsaken Realms, Varen Call popped into my Steam personal calendar. First, I didn't pay any attention, but apparently it's a Fable-like. Fable 1 is hands down in my top 5 goated games. I have seen the game that you're talking about. Apparently, it's like a knockoff Fable, but potentially better depending on who you listen to. And I've actually considered trying that one out. Someone the other day was talking about it when I was talking about games we're going to be trying out in the near future. Maybe we should, hey, if you want me to try it on stream, I will. As a thank you for all your support, just say the word And I'll set aside a whole stream to try it if you want. Hey! I don't really want to use any heals on him, because if we die... like that. If we die, you know, it's so early in the attempt, we really just need to die and rather than burn through heals. Exactly, fresh water is exactly. Everything's getting expensive. I can't go into Walmart and come back out these days without spending $100. It's like not possible. I'll be like, yeah, we gotta go to Walmart real fast. And, you know, I'll have like a short list of things to get. And I'm like, surely this will be like 50, 60 bucks at the most. And it's like 107. And I'm like, how the F is this $107? Friggin'. My parents were friggin' buying an entire week's groceries for $107. Will you get to play the Neo 3 DLC early or no? That is a good question. I did get Neo 3 early, and I'm still part of the program that I got that from, I think. I haven't heard anything about it yet, as far as whether I'll be getting it or not, but it is a possibility that we might get to play that early. That is possible. Dovaki, thanks for another super chat, dude. Amazing. You know what I want, Matt? Members only exclusive. Matt cosplays as Millennia while roasting dudes getting destroyed by her. Wait a second. Let me understand this request. You want me to cosplay Millennia while roasting dudes getting destroyed by her. So I dress up as Millennia, watching videos of people dying to her, making fun of them in my revealing clothing. Is that what you're asking? Did you play The Last of Us Part 2? No, I did not. I played Part 1. I enjoyed Part 1. But then, you know, they made her lesbian and all that, and I was like, yeah, I'm not going to play Part 2. Good, because I messed up on what I thought the lore was. Oh, did you? Yeah, we're actually gonna, the new info that dropped on their website, we're going to talk about that on the news break today. There's some new DLC info, including setting. It lists the new weapon and some of the new skills and stuff. So some juiciness to dive into there. Hey, Bertha. There's not an actual way. There's no way that that hit me. Let me back up a little bit. Hit him right in the butt cheek. Hit her in those beautiful gluteuses. Would you guys judge me if I had a poster of those giant hippos hanging in my bathroom for happy time? Is that something I would be judged for? Not saying I do. I'm just asking a question. YMD, what's up, dude? I'd be a lawyer defending you. This is why I like you. This is why I like you. You just understand. Woo! That was almost bad. That was almost bad. Donnie, what's up? How are you? Come on down here. Okay, let me just waste. Yeah, hit him! How? I was literally right in front of him, and the sword did not. How does that happen? That's not a thing that is real. Dovahkiin, thanks for the super chat yet again. I'm just gonna, I don't know, at this point I'm just gonna, I'm gonna have to do your request now. I don't know. Absolutely, give us commentary as Millennia. There's a YouTube channel of an impressionist that does Gandalf satire, giving commentary on other characters. Really? Do you know the channel name? I might want to look that up. That's a very interesting request, though. I have to kind of wonder how'd you come up with that? You know, just asking. No judgment. Dark Souls 2 is your favorite Souls game? Really? It's not my favorite, but I do think it is the second best of the Dark Souls series. I have Dark Souls 1 as the last place, and I think Dark Souls 3 is the best of the Dark Souls series, that is. So I would put Dark Souls 2 as second. You should play the forest with some fans. It would be fun to send you to the caves. Is the forest that one where like all trees attack you? Like all the trees are attacking you? Dark Souls 3 is a close second. I love Dark Souls 3. Yeah, Dark Souls 3 was my first Souls game ever. I had never played a Souls or Souls-like game until Dark Souls 3, which is part of why I love it so much. It's just, you know, your first Souls game, there's just nothing like it. You know, it always holds a special place in your heart. I think you're thinking of the Mound. No, not the Mound. That wasn't what I was thinking of. I was thinking of that like top-down kind of cutesy animation looking game where everywhere you like every tree you pass attacks you and tries to kill. It's like a funny game, basically. Yeah, there's an interesting thing in this. There's an interesting phenomenon in the Souls-like genre, and that is if you have become a fan, your first Souls game that you ever played holds a special place in your heart for eternity, regardless of what it was. But if you've tried Souls games and you end up hating them, then the first Souls game you ever played is like the worst game in the entire history of the world. It's really kind of interesting how perspective changes based on preferences. Holy God, where'd he come from? Hey. 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 Never tried Dark Souls 2, so I'm sure which part of the game you've reached. Oh, not sure. Well, first off, what are you doing? You need to try Dark Souls 2. But aside from that, so this is Dark Souls 2 is kind of similar to Dark Souls 1 in its level design, so you can go different places in a variety of different orders. But this is typically like the second or third place that you go once you start the game. So we're not very far. Fourth game is about a father looking for his son who's kidnapped by cannibals. Really? Maybe I should look up a trailer to it on YouTube. Is it a good game? Loved Code Vein also. Gotta play Code Vein 2. I thought Code Vein 1 was decent. And I like Code Vein 2 a lot more than the Code Vein 1. I actually beat Code Vein 1. Holy God, what am I doing? If I can get out of this alive, I'm a goat. Why did I do that? Why do I have such a short sword? God, why did you make me this way? What could be said about banging dudes? I'm not gonna deny that that's true. I like it. There's a fun mystery to it. Interesting. Alright, we're just gonna go this way. Dovahkiin, thanks for the super chat again, bro. What a supporter there. Okay, cosplay patches while running a workout program, giving the worst training advice, and all you do is steal their workout ideas and make your own. I don't know how you're coming up with this, but I feel like you're dropping like some goated streaming ideas in the chat right now. If I did what you're saying, my channel would probably blow up. With a bunch of homosexuals just thirsting over my body. We would blow out too. Have you played any of the Mass Effect games? They're great. Not sure if you're into those types of games. I've never played Mass Effect. I'm not even 100% sure what kind of game it is. I've heard a ton about them, and some people regard like the second one, I think, or the third one as like the best game ever made. But yeah, I don't think I've never played one though. I've played Deep Space. Is it like a sci-fi game? I don't really know what kind of games those are. I've just heard a lot about them because they're pretty famous. There is no way I just got hit by a firebomb. That's actually kind of impossible. Oh, he didn't fall. It's sci-fi? Is it like a RPG game, or what kind of game is it? There's no way! Payday Squad, what's up? You're level 330 or 838 in Dark Souls 2? That's insane. How many hours do you have in the game? It's an RPG third-person shooter. Maybe we should try it someday. I can get down on a third-person shooter every now and then. Over 100 hours. Wow. That's legit, bro. So what ranking? What? Oh my god. And my sword's at risk. What rank would you give DS2? Like, do you think it's like a C tier game, B tier game? 99 overall? DS2 has the best fashion out of the Souls games. Elden Ring has some pretty good Souls drip. DS2 does have good Souls drip. Elden Ring has really good Souls drip. Trying to think, is there... And Bloodborne. If I had to rank the Souls games with the best drip, or to put it in more understandable terms, if I had to rank the Souls games with the best Souls fashion, I think I would go Dark Souls 2 at number 3. I think I would put it there. And then I'd probably say... And then I'd probably have to go Elden Ring at number 2. And then Bloodborne at number 1. Just because I love the aesthetic and style of Bloodborne a lot more than the other Souls games. So the drip in Bloodborne is just goated to me. Big 88, what's up? DS2 is S tier? That's some high praise. A full-on S. I think, like, for me personally, I think it's pretty much, I would give it like an A, maybe a B plus, probably an A overall. It's not quite S tier to me, but it's very good. I think A is very fair though. Let me just run away. Oh, I thought I was gonna get the backstab. Dark Souls 3 is S tier. I agree with that. I would, even well, for Dark Souls 3, I think I would actually give it like an A plus. I think it falls just a tad. If I'm being honest, like my heart says S, but my mind says A plus. Happy I could catch a stream. Yeah, I'm super glad you made it, dude. Thanks for checking out the stream, chilling with me. Hold on, let me make sure we get some space here. I gotta fix something real fast. Let's do it there. Let that go to work. Dovahkiin, thanks for this. I don't know why your super chats are not popping up on screen. Hold on, I'm getting that fixed, I think. I'm gonna act like no one sees this, but yes, I secretly work for Fighting Cowboy as his editor. It's borderline slave work. He makes me edit his vids to appear like he's dominating in games. So I'm revealing my secrets to you. Wait, are you trolling? That's gotta be a troll, right? You can't be serious. That's not a real thing. You're trolling, right? That's just, you gotta be trolling. DS1 Die Hard. Oh, you love a DS1? DS1's great, but honestly, I'd put it in like a B tier. It's not like all that, if you understand what I'm saying. I like the bosses and layouts. DS3. Yeah, though DS3 has DS3 probably has the best bosses in the Dark Souls series. Compared to like Elden Ring or Bloodborne or Sekiro, I think that it has a lot more competition there. But in the Dark Souls series, Dark Souls 3 has the best bosses hands down. I think DS2 just has the best vibes and world building. Not best feel or combat. It does have great vibes. And the level design is underrated. Everybody talks about DS1's level design, but Dark Souls 2 has some legitimately good level design. That's a smoother play. Yeah, DS3 is definitely smoother, but Dark Souls 2 is... And that's the thing, like, what I don't understand about DS1 glazers is... The combat in DS1, to me, is more janky than the combat in DS2. See if I can get him to come over here where we don't get gankified. That's happened to me like a million times. I don't know why I don't remember that there's 4 attacks in that combo. There's 4 of them. DS2 would have done better if it was more forthcoming with some of its best mechanics. This is true, and if adaptability didn't exist, DS2 would have been widely regarded as one of the best. Was pavement for all of this is true. Yeah, it was the ground. DS1 is the building blocks that the rest of the Souls games are built on. I mean, Demon Souls is to a certain degree, obviously, but Dark Souls 1 is what really propelled the series into popularity. I started with OG Demon Souls, got clapped by the first boss and gave up 7 years later. I picked up Bloodborne and the obsession was born. Dude, that's kind of similar to my story. I started with Dark Souls 3, got clapped at the Greatwood, the cursed Greatwood, gave up, came back years later, and came back with Demon Souls Remake, beat that, fell in love, and it's been nothing but greatness since. But you can't just gloss over what you super chatted. Are you trolling or not? Do you edit for Fighting Cowboy or not? Tell us the truth. This one combat was That's perfect. So now nostalgic combat we all love. Thank you for letting me rant. Good rant, good rant. Let me go ahead and sell me on DS2. Hey. Jaxer Mind Otter, thanks for the sub, bro. I appreciate it. Oh, we gotta get out of there. Let's go. I say that like it's a friggin' accomplishment. Oh, thank you for the membership as well. That is amazing. Thank you for the support. I really appreciate it. All right, Matt, sell me on DS2. I played 5% and fell off. Challenge accepted. Sell you on DS2. Dark Souls 2 is misunderstood because of this. Does it have janky hitboxes and so-so bosses for most of the game? Yes. But what it has that is highly underrated is, number one, it has really good level design, even though Dark Souls 1 is regarded as the mother of all level design, which is true. Dark Souls 2's level design is done really well. Not as good as DS1, but really good though. DS2 also has, outside of Elden Ring, the best build variety that has ever been done in Souls games. There are way more options in Dark Souls 2 than in any of the other Dark Souls games. In Bloodborne, Sekiro, obviously. Elden Ring is the only Souls game that beats Dark Souls 2 when it comes to build variety. It also has really cool features that have never been done since in a Souls game, such as the bonfire aesthetic, which allows you to increase the difficulty of the enemies in exchange for more souls. And it also has the best New Game Plus that has ever been done in the Souls series. Because in DS2, if you go into New Game Plus, the game is actually going to change to a decent degree and make the playthrough feel more challenging and fun. There are things that happen in New Game Plus that do not happen in a regular playthrough. Enemy placements change. There's new NPC dialogue. A lot of really cool things that take place in New Game Plus that don't take place in a regular new game. All of those reasons come together, plus all those reasons put together, plus you have the fact that it has better combat than it's given credit for. The hitboxes are janky. I'm not gonna try and gaslight you into thinking there is some problems with the combat, but it's smoother than Dark Souls 1 for sure. And once you get adaptability leveled up to 30 or so, or even like 20, 25, you're gonna be fine. The other thing is that the adaptability is truly an atrocious thing that shouldn't have happened. It's not as bad as people make it out to be, but it was a poor decision. So it has its flaws for sure. But What I don't understand is how people can love Demon Souls or love Dark Souls 1 and then look at Dark Souls 2 and be like, this is trash. Because Dark Souls 2 does so many things better than those games. Plus, it does some things better than any other game that From Software has ever made. So you have to give it its respect for that at least, right? So that's my sales pitch for Dark Souls 2. In a nutshell, best new game plus, best kind of niche features that aren't in other Souls games, decent combat, great level design, plus you get Majula, which is the best hub that has ever been designed. All of that put together is why you should play Dark Souls 2. Did it work? Did I sell you? Because it's actually trash and you should know. No, I'm just kidding. Oh, the power stancing. Yeah, that's another good one. Yeah. Power stancing. Goes to Bloodborne before DS2. Bloodborne, I mean, the builds, there is some build variety in Bloodborne, but it does not get even anywhere close to what Dark Souls 2 has. Is that like the bell from Sekiro? Yeah, kind of. It's pretty similar to that. Pretty similar, except in Sekiro, the bell applies to the whole game. In Dark Souls 2, the bonfire aesthetic just only applies to the area in which you burn it at. So you can like pick and choose which spots you want to be a little tougher, what you want to get more souls from. It's pretty cool. This is like Smash Melee, or it's janky, AF and kind of a mess, but there's a certain charm to it. That's not a poor description. You know, nobody's gonna sit here and say Dark Souls 2 is not janky. I don't think that From Software has ever made a Souls game that's not janky. In fact, I'm convinced that From Software intentionally puts jank in their games as part of the style. I think that they might actually do that, and I'm not joking. I'm serious about that. Dark Souls 2 has the best boss fights that put Elden Ring to shame. Dark Souls 2 has the... I would have to... As much as I love to... as much as I'd love to... you know, defend and spread the gospel of Dark Souls 2, its bosses is not its strong suit. I would say that most of the bosses in Dark Souls 2 are kind of mid. First review for the Relic to First Guardian is a 4 out of 10. Who gave it that? What publication? DS2 got rid of patches. Technically, he isn't in it. I do hate patches. I do hate, but I also love to kill patches. So it's kind of a good and a bad thing all in one. Dover King, thanks for the super chat. Yet again. Oh my god. Mr. Cowboy just reminded me of my affidavit and just bought me the doll costume from Bloodborne. Should I be worried? Alright, now I know you're trolling. You don't edit for, no. You're just trolling right now. I prefer the original DS2 over Scholar. I think its PvP was surprisingly very fun in its heyday. That's one thing I've never done. I've actually never got a chance to play OG DS2. By the time I came to the Souls series and got to Dark Souls 2, Scholar of the First Sin was already out. How can you not like Rat Vanguard and Covetous Demon? They're better than more. All right, now you're just trolling, dude. Now I know you're not serious. This can't be a real thing you're saying. Playing DS2 for the first time? Oh, really? For the first time? Rubber Eater, that's awesome. What do you think so far? Or this game was so hard for me after Elden Ring being swift? Yes. The difficulty in Dark Souls 2 is definitely on it's not that Dark Souls 2 is harder than Elden Ring. I don't think that's the right way to say it. It's difficult in a different way that I think throws Elden Ring players off when you come from Elden Ring to Dark Souls 2. It just has a level of jank and uniqueness to it that makes Elden Ring players have to readjust, essentially. That's my opinion, anyway. Honestly, as dull as it is, I've been spoiled by Neo's combat and find it hard to play a dated game like DS2 unless it's anything new from Software. This is a real phenomenon. This is why in the past I usually tell people, like, if you're gonna start with in the Souls games and you haven't ever played any of them, a lot of times I'll tell people start with Demon Souls. Because Demon Souls looks really good and it's updated to a certain amount, but it's still got the older style of combat to it. And a lot of the new, like, quality of life improvements are not in Demon Souls. And so it gets you acclimated into the genre without spoiling you. Whereas when you go from, like, Elden Ring to Dark Souls 1, a lot of times people will it just puts a bad taste in their mouth because they're used to the smoothness and modern quality of life that Elden Ring offers, and then they try to go back to an older game and it just doesn't work for them, you know? So that's a real thing that happens. The jank is holy its charm. It's not a speedy game, it's good pressure. There is a certain amount of charm. This is true. Once you become a fan of the game, the jank becomes part of its charm. That's true. But until you become a fan of the game, the jank is just annoying. And while you're dying, the jank is annoying and it's not charming at all. Jank in the older Souls games is a weird thing. Because if you're a fan of them, it becomes like a warm hug. Like something from the past that is very nostalgic. But if you're not a fan of the older games and you're trying to get into them, the jank can just feel like you want to throw up. And it also makes you want to puke when you're dying. When you're dying, it doesn't feel any kind of special way. Like that. See, right now, the jank is the worst thing that's ever been put in a game. I can't believe a game would ever be this bad. Nobody should ever play this. But in a minute when I calm down, I'm going to be like, oh, takes me back to simpler times, you know? I started with Elden Ring into Bloodborne, so adjusting to the slow speed of DS1 and the difference of DS2 was hard. 3 was the only one I naturally got good at from the start. This is true. Yeah, and that's because Dark Souls 1, or not, Dark Souls 3 is the closest thing to Elden Ring in the Dark Souls series. So going from Elden Ring to Dark Souls 3 is somewhat seamless. It's just a linear Elden Ring, essentially, without a jump button. But when you go back to the older ones, that's where the problems start. Deep dive here on the topic of combat. Kingdoms of Amalur had one of the best combat systems of its time. But we just wanted to see weapons like the chakrams in the other games. I've never heard of that game. What kind of game is that? Did you play Mandragora? No, I have it on my wish list and it's been there for a long time. And I tried the demo, but I never played it. I've had several people tell me it's really good. Just beat the... Oh, you beat the Cursed Greatwood? That was the boss. That was the boss that made me quit many years ago. What do you think of the game so far? Oh my god, how did this happen? He always sits up against the rock. It's like he knows I'm trying to rape him in the butt with my sword. Tanish, what's up, dude? Kingdoms of Amular. Oh, that's how you say it. Kingdoms of Amular. I've never heard of that. Mandragora has too much ganks. Very few boss fights are one-on-one. It's a 2D side scroller, isn't it? What's going on? We're running Dark Souls 2. Doing some Dark Souls 2 Massacre Run. You use the strength build? God bless you. That's true peak souls right there. I'm liking it. The linear style is way easier to follow. Okay. That was the dumbest thing I've ever done. I literally just kept walking into it. I was just trying to spam R1 to get him out of there, and... Oh my god. Alexander, what's up, dude? How are you? I'm running an Uchigatana buckler combo with the Fallen Knight armor. That's a good one. Good build choice. Souls game and strength build. True. Daddy loves him a good strength build. Off stream, I started a second playthrough of the Elden Ring Convergence mod, and I used the Dreadnought class, which is the dude in the heavy armor with the hammer and the shield. And it's freaking peak, bro. Spells are fun and all, but I just love strength. It's so freaking fun to smash crap. You whore! How many times have you played this game? I can't even remember. Honestly, I think I've only beat it twice, maybe. A lot of the Souls games I haven't. I'm one of those players that I've played a ton of Souls-likes. Like, I've played all the From Software games and a ton of Souls-like games. But I haven't played through each game a ton of times, if that makes sense. You should stream the worst Souls-likes. That'd probably be a good... that would be very frustrating, but also interesting at the same time, probably. Just do like a whole week of the worst Souls-likes I can find. I think Scumnut does that on his second challenge. He plays like awful Souls-like games. I think I'm too impatient to play spells or heavy weapons. Oh, do you like so I'm guessing you like dex builds or quality builds? There we go. There we go. I remember the least about DS2. Wonder why that is. Bro, I fought pre-patched Consort Radon. He forced me into a strength build. Roast me if you must. Hey, I can't say anything. My first W against Consort Radon was with a sword and board build. Because he was him, you know? Why don't you try a new Souls-like? I do that all the time. I play more new Souls-likes on stream than I do the original Souls games. We're trying 2 new Souls-likes on Thursday and Friday. Is Mortal Shell one of the worst Souls-likes? No, not one of the worst. It's not, it didn't resonate with me. But there are many more way worse Souls-likes than Mortal Shell. That's 100% true. If I do strength, I'm usually putting naturally dex weapon class on heavy. To me, the speed and pace of a strength build feels very natural now. I'm just very used to strength build pacing. I'm at DS2 has a great new game plus and only two playthroughs. Jared Like, thanks for the sub. I appreciate you. Most playthroughs I have is Kazan. I'm on New Game Plus 5. Hope some other developers can pick up that IP. That's in my top 3 Souls likes. Kazan, yeah. Kazan is really good. I mean, you guys have probably heard me say it many times. I had my issues with Kazan, but I was genuinely sad to see it. To see our hopes of a sequel or a DLC kind of go up in flames when they shut down the studio. It's definitely, I mean, Kazan is one of those games where I think it's worthy of multiple playthroughs, but I don't want to do them. Like, I don't really ever want to play Kazan again. I don't regret playing through it the first time. I had a great time, but it's so long. I don't know that I would ever want to play through it again just like for fun. Beat Consort Radon on level 80. PvP save with sword and board last weekend. Ah, okay. So another sword and border. Yeah, I think he's the only Elden Ring boss. Oh my god. I was not ready for the stab. He's the only Elden Ring boss I ever resorted to a sword and board build for. Now, I beat him later on without one. But my first playthrough, my first time beating him was with sword and board. And I'm not ashamed. You can't shame me into regretting that. That's where you came from. We're Souls like Bleak Faith by a mile. Honestly, bro, I kind of agree with that. And I caught a lot of hate because when I did my review of Bleak Faith, I gave it a pretty poor ranking because there's just a lot of problems with the game and it feels awful to play. And there are a lot of fans of that game that do not like that take at all. But to me, it's just undeniable. I don't know how you can't. It has gotten a little better, I will say. I think they've patched some things. I haven't played it in a long time, but my first playthrough of it. But no, I'll tell you a Souls like that's worse than that. Morbid Lords of Ire. Morbid Lords of Ire is specifically in one part of the game is one of the worst experiences I've ever had. Silver, what's up? I use Ultra Great Sword Guts. Best thing to do ever. Have anyone ever done this? No. Are you talking about the Massacre Run? As far as I know, I'm the only person with a recorded Massacre Run ever. And I think I made it up. I think this is originated with me. If somebody knows somebody who's done it, let me know, but I'm pretty sure this is my thing. Great Club is also good. Souls like subreddit loves Bleak Faith. I know so many people love it, and like the world and aesthetic and vibe to it are good. Like that part I agree with, but the gameplay is just trash. By the way, a few days left for Beast of Reincarnation. I know we're gonna play it on Monday. We're gonna stream it on Monday. I feel like most games are like that. You play it once and never again kind of thing. Most games, yeah. It's harder to be a great game than it is to be a mediocre game that people just touch and put down. Obviously, right? Which game you enjoy more, Kazan or AI Limit? AI Limit. AI Limit's a better game in my opinion. It's shorter, there's a lot less content to it, but the quality of the content is better and less repetitive in my opinion. Whereas Kazan has better combat, but it just drags on for too long and is way too repetitive in the side quests. What's your thoughts on Miyazaki wasting his time making an online game? I don't think it's a waste of time. I think it is what Miyazaki has always done. Miyazaki loves to try new things. That's how we got the Souls-like genre in the first place, is because he stepped out and tried something new. And that's what he's doing again. He's making something different, strange, weird. That's who the guy is. Do I want him to go back and make what we all love, a single-player Souls-like experience? Of course I do. But is he making a mistake with the Duskbloods? I don't think that we can say that right now. It's not out, so you know, we need to reserve judgment until we can actually play the game. And you don't want to bet against this guy. The guy just hits straight bangers all the freaking time. Why would we look at him and say to ourselves that this is going to be anything less than a masterpiece when that's really all he's ever created? How have I been? I've been great. I'm tired, but I'm good. Or I had to do a replay of Monster Hunter Wilds. The great sword has the most satisfying parry. The counter attack is peak, scratches that Sekiro itch. I played a little bit of Monster Hunter Wilds when it launched, but haven't ever played it since. You think Miyazaki will release Dark Souls 4? The answer to that question is... The better question is... Oh my god. That was bad. That was bad stamina management. That was my fault. I can't believe my freaking toe got hit on the roll and almost all my health was gone. Come on now. The better question is, will Dark Souls 4 ever come out? Because if Dark Souls 4 is ever made, it won't be Miyazaki that makes it. He's been clear about that. He's not going to stand in the way of it being made, but he's not going to be the one to make it. As far as he's concerned, the Dark Souls series concluded with Dark Souls 3. But do I ever think a Dark Souls 4 will be made? I do think there's a chance. I would give it probably a 60-40 chance, with 40% being probably... With 40% being yes, it will be made, and 60% being probably not. That's my personal opinion. I think somebody who... I think a trusted team member at From Software will eventually take up the mantle and attempt a Dark Souls 4. I think that's a possibility at the very least. That's what people said about Elden Ring. This game will fail or something like that. True. Well, they said it about Demon Souls. I mean, the freaking CEO of PlayStation thought Demon Souls was trash. And look at what it's become now. Souls like NFL game would go hard. You know, but 5 games later, the franchise nothing changed. If Miyazaki's making it, just don't bet against it. That's my opinion. I think that's the respect he's earned. Maybe DS3 remake in the future. Yeah, we could get it. We could get a DS3 remaster. Absolutely, especially, you know, in like 5 to 10 years when the game's a lot older. That definitely could happen. I'm trying to make sure that dude's not going to try to shoot me. Subbed, appreciate the live stream. Hey, thanks, Alexander. I appreciate the sub. I'm sorry if I didn't see it pop up on screen. I would have shouted you out. I wonder if any Sony will make Bloodborne remake with digital launch because they know people want it. Sony tried. Sony tried to make a Bloodborne remake and Miyazaki said no. And we don't really know why. So, I don't know. The future of Bloodborne is not looking too great at the moment. What's going on? Well, I've died a lot, made a lot of stupid mistakes. And now we are trying to win. Bro, literally stop, dude. Like DS1, DS2. If you need to scratch the pirate souls itch, I would try Windrose, survival game. So you probably know it's fun for what it is. I've heard of Windrose. I've seen some gameplay about it. I actually own it too. I bought it, but I've never tried it. Or no, I didn't buy it. I got a code for it, but I didn't buy it. I mean, but I didn't try it yet. I've heard it has Souls-like combat though. Bloodborne equals P. I don't think we'll ever get Bloodborne on PC, even if they do remaster it or remake it or whatever one day. I was gonna try and lead this dude this way, but the other dude just stopped. Because they wanted... Way, I thought I had more time to talk and be friends for a second. I just found out you can shield poke by holding up an axe in DS3. I didn't even know that. Ain't no way I'm dropping 700 to play the Dustbloods. You're not gonna buy it, right? Star Wars. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna buy it. Yeah, no. There's no denying it. I am buying the Dustbloods, and I am praying to God I get into the network test. Now I don't blame anybody who doesn't want to spend the money on it. Absolutely not. It's your money. Spend it on what you want to spend it. What you think has value. But for me, a new From Software game, I can't think of anything I want to spend on my money on more. Like Bloodborne, I played it at a friend's house, friend's PS4. That's a good friend right there. Are you high? No, I'm not high. I might sound like I'm high, but I'm not. Did he already fall down and attack? Oh yeah, so that was the second guy that, okay. That was the second guy that chased me over there. Bloodborne downgraded to PS1 graphics. Have you tried that? It's even open to the public. Is that a mod? Or are you talking about that Bloodborne game they turned into a racing game because of a lawsuit or something like that? Huh. We just punched him in the face. No, not me before. That's how, yeah, I've been hitting the Estus pretty hard, but that doesn't get me high, it just gets me a little buzzed. I wonder how many streams it's gonna take us to get past this area. We have done this. This is like the third time we've tried to get to the last giant. We haven't even reached the boss yet. Because this area is just so long. There are so many enemies. And so many jank spots. Or gank spots. I mean, it's Dark Souls 2. I guess I should have figured that out. Ah! You just described the game. Yeah, I know. I caught myself after I said it. I was like, I kind of should have known that going into this run, huh? Oh yeah, right here. Another bad boy. He's a bad boy. Come here, bad boy. Oh. This is just a little naughty boy. You little baddie. Alright, I'm done. I don't want you guys to get all aroused while we're playing. That's just gonna be weird, you know? I'm doing this on champion. Doing all this on champion is madness. True, yeah. Yeah, we have it set. We joined the friggin' champion deal. So the enemies will never stop respawning. So it's not gonna get any easier as we go along. It's just gonna be pure suffrage. And not the women's rights kind. I think this. Whoa. I think this run is next to impossible. The S2 takes pride in making you die. It has a trophy just for dying for the first time. Most Souls games do. This run is not impossible. It's just very difficult. We did Dark Souls 1 though, and there were times during the Dark Souls 1 run where I wondered if we were actually going to be able to do it. Particularly in Lost Izalith and New Londo, or and Orlando, I should say. But we got it done, and this run will be no different. We're gonna get her done. This dude's so great. I do agree with you there. As much as this game makes me rage, I love it. So many random jinx and ganks and guys creeping in the darkness, jumping you, even gang raping you. It truly is just Londo. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Stop respawning. They deal double damage and increases their health. You must be talking about it, or maybe it does that too. I can't remember. Let me look this up. I probably should know that, but the let's see. Covenant of Champions. Hold on. And Dark Souls 2. See if it has any other effects. Alright, joining the Company of Champions turns on hard mode. Enemies deal roughly 33 to 50% more damage. Your outgoing damage is reduced by 20%, and all cooperative summoning, including NPCs, is disabled. Infinite normal enemies despawn limits are disabled. So it does both. It actually does both. I actually didn't know that, or I forgot that, one of the two. So yeah, essentially the enemies will never not respawn, and everything deals increased damage, and we deal less damage. No wonder I've been dying so much. I could have swore I didn't remember Dark Souls 2 being this hard. My wife just walked in like, are you watching? Just a grown man moaning. Nothing to see here. Oh, sorry, Mrs. Dovahkiin. I'm sorry. I was just having some personal time. What kind of challenge are you doing? So this is a massacre run. So in every area, we have to kill everything in the entire area plus the boss without dying. So we can't just like rush to the boss and try and like, you know, beat the boss that way. We have to go through every nook and cranny of the whole place and kill everything. Then we go fight the boss. You lowered the volume? Why? Because of my moaning? After DS2, should you play? You should play a video for us of Kingdom of Amalur gameplay, especially the shot. Okay, yeah, I will. Make sure to remind me on the news break, which actually we're about to do here in a minute. Or you're doing a suicide run? I think I am. I think I am. I didn't realize just how hard I made this. Makes sense though. Let's come over here. No wonder they don't die very easy. But the only way to do this run legitimately, because I'm not playing on PC, so I mean, I guess I could load every time, but like the only way to just keep running it was to join the Champions Covenant so that the enemies always come back every time. I mean, I guess I could have just loaded a saved game every time, but that would get pretty tedious, I feel like. Plus, who doesn't love a little extra challenge, you know? Makes it more entertaining. The same reaction with the created a new file because I kept dying. Same. Except I can't create a new file, but I do keep dying. Oh, give me the life gems. Quite the contrary. Somebody turned it up instead of decreased the volume. Oh, you guys are a bunch of naughty boys. Stop it. Before I spank you all. Alright, let's see if we can actually hit this guy now. Oh my god. I need. Oh! Alright, hold up. We gotta run this way. Let me just drink it. Oh my god! When did he get so fast? I thought they were slow walking. Fricker, dude. I've got to get that down. Every time I go off that ledge, I miss that enemy. Why can I not hit him? Time to add a moan counter. That counter, it just keep on ticking, you know what I mean? It just keep on going. Be like a clock more than a counter. Is useful since after 12 kills enemies despawn. Yeah, exactly. That's why we joined it, was to keep that from happening. Tank me. Gotta hit the, yeah, chill, everybody chill. We're getting a little too gay. Alright? Chill out. A little gay is okay, but there's gotta be a line somewhere. All right, we'll do it. We'll run it one more time. Hopefully, make some decent progress. And if we die again, we're just gonna do the news break because F this. All right, we're not exactly starting off in the best way possible. If I die to this hippo, I'll know tonight was cursed. I just got in its butt. Oh my god, I spoke it into existence. Yeah, let's watch that video instead. You know what? Who did I ever say, if I ever said anything good about this game, I think I just, you know, I was paid off. I'm a sellout, I have to admit it. Miyazaki paid me to say it. No, this game is not good. It's the worst game that they've ever made. And I'm done with it. We're not playing this anymore till the next time we play it. I'm not doing it. You really want to chill thing? It's just that you gotta get a tan or something. It's just you showing up here while shining is like not fair. I have a little bit of a tan. I have a decent tan. It's not bad. It's just my forehead's shiny because I have well hydrated skin. That's what I'll say. Ay. What a time to be alive. What a time to be alive, right? Let me look this up and get it ready to. Said Kingdoms of Amular. Amular is what you said. Amular. Gotta find a good one to play too. Or a video to watch. Okay, we'll look through those in a second and see which ones might be good ones to check out, you know what I'm saying? Okay, let me get this set up here. All right, okay. Okay, all right. Gonna be a fair line between shiny and zesty. Yeah, there's gotta be, but if there is, I just don't know how to find it. You know what I mean? It's just not a line that I walk. Visceral attack on Piggy and Bloodborne. Nothing visceral about it. True. Okay, let me, I think we got everything ready here. Let's hit up the news. Here's tonight's news. It all comes down to you not making it and raging through. I like to see you play Dark Souls 3 more. I like Dark Souls 3 more. Like that definitely is to me a better game, and I enjoy Dark Souls 3 more than Dark Souls 2. But I have fun with Dark Souls 2. It's just out of the two runs, the Dark Souls 2 Massacre Run is about 2 times harder than the Dark Souls 3 random challenge run. Like that's just not even a question in my opinion. Okay. So let's talk about some Neo 3 stuff. So some new info, or I should say some more info about the Neo 3 DLC dropped on their website. And it is right over here. We'll just kind of go through it all. So obviously you have the DLCs, DLC 2s coming, I think they said February next year, which could end up being sooner actually, because the DLC 1, which now we know is Hell Rising, that was actually originally revealed to be set for September, and now they're releasing it in August. So maybe they're ahead of schedule. Maybe we get the second DLC early too. I don't know. But so there's a second one coming early next year. But this one, DLC one, Hell Rising, coming out August 19th. And here it says, a new shadow of intrigue takes over future Edo in Hell Rising. Our protagonist and appointed shogun, Takachio, journeys through time and is led to Edo in the future by an unknown yokai he met in his dreams. There, following the death of the future Takachio, I guess I should say it right. The era of peace has ended, and Edo has been retaken by the Crucible. With the cooperation of a one-eyed swordsman, Yagyu Jubei, I think that's how you say it, and a Spanish envoy, Rodrigo, Takachio faces yet another plot revolving around spirit stones and an enemy with a strong resentment towards the shogunate. So that's some story info there. That's kind of the setting we're going for. DS3 played like Bloodborne. I think that's the main reason why I prefer DS3 over DS2. It is a little, it's faster, yeah. Bloodborne's faster than DS3, but DS3 is faster than us, so I think the pace is closer. Yeah, I think you're right. New stage. Edo in 1651. The Keion era. In 1651, during the Keion era, Edo was supposed to be enveloped in peace. However, the large castle town that was once proof of the shogunate's authority has transformed into a hellish wasteland plagued by the gales of the Crucible. Yokai, human rebels, and alchemists from foreign lands have descended on Edo, creating a battlefield fraught with chaos. With the shogun's absence, areas across the Edo Castle have been overridden with yokai. Amidst tense battles against unknown yokai, new mysteries, new encounters. So that's our setting there. So 1651. Interesting. Now this is the stuff that gets me going here. Like the story stuff is cool. I'm not saying, you know, it's the story's not worth paying attention to or anything. I mean, Team Ninja Stories is not historically well known for their like amazing quality, but you know, Neo 3 had a pretty decent story, probably the best story in Neo so far. But the new equipment and different new features in the DLC. So it says, fight highly customizable battles over and over again while carefully selecting the effects of 100 Demon Realms picture scrolls to create self-imposed challenges. Winning the unique battles of each scroll will enable players to unlock that scroll as a piece of equipment and earn the chance to obtain special effects by winning further battles. The combination of enemies, stages, and special rules offer countless variations. Highly valuable scrolls may also appear at times. This feature is available not only for solo play, but for multiplayer sessions as well. Train alongside your friends by challenging yourself on millions of battlefields. So they're adding a ton of replayability with these 100 Demon Realms scrolls, which are basically like, it seems like they are battle scrolls, but with certain debuffs or extra challenge or something. It's kind of unclear, but apparently you can play them over and over again in bunches of different combinations, and you can even co-op them, which is really fun as well. So we're getting more added challenge and replayability with these Demon Realm scrolls. That's freaking awesome. Other new elements. Where's the... I guess they don't mention it. I thought they mentioned it like in its own section, but maybe they don't. But there's a section that's, oh, I bet it's over here. Here we go. New weapons. This is what I was looking for. New weapons right here. So the Hoko and Shield and Ninja Hoko and Shield. A weapon that a weapon set that balances the offensive capabilities of the short spear with the defensive capabilities of the shield. The Hoko and Shield and the Ninja Hoko and Shield have a great many uses in battle, ranging from basic attacks like defending with the shield while attacking with the short spear to tactical moves like flinging the shield at the enemy. So we're actually getting a shield and short spear combo weapon set in the DLC, which is really cool. If you saw that little clip in the trailer where he like throws that thing and it spins on the enemy, that is the shield. So that's actually one of the abilities of this weapon set. And then you also have that parry and repost thing he does in the trailer as well. That's part of the skill set of this weapon as well. So that's really cool. This will be the first time ever that Neo is getting a shield in all of its history. So that's really cool. There might be weapons that I could have thought of that I would want more, but I gotta say, this one does interest me a lot, and I probably will play it. For nothing else, then I think that parry ability might be really fun to play, especially if they treat it kind of like a Sekiro deflect or like the deflect in the game. If it's something like that, but it comes with like a riposte, that could be really fun to play and kind of get the timing down of. I'm interested to see what the difference between the samurai and ninja style versions are, though. I'm assuming the samurai version is the one with the parry and everything. Maybe the ninja style one doesn't have the parry, but does the shield throw instead. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But it looks really cool. I would be very surprised and disappointed if they didn't add new weapons in Neo 3 and new weapons that's yeah, no, there's definitely new weapons. Definitely new weapons. If I remember correctly, you had some good ideas for new weapons. Polearm, maybe. Yeah, that and nunchucks. Nunchucks would be, we need ninja style nunchucks. How do we not have ninja style nunchucks yet? We definitely need that. Sun only had 3 weapons, but offered a wide variety of attack skills. True. I see you, Massacre Run for Dark Souls Remastered. You achieve it. Couldn't finish it. Yes. Yeah, we did I see you did a Massacre Run for Dark Souls Remastered. You achieve it. Couldn't find it. Oh, okay. Are you asking? Yes. I think I get what you. I think I get what you're saying. Did you achieve it? Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah. So yes, we did Dark Souls 1. All of Dark Souls 1, start to finish. We Massacre Run the whole game. It's all in its own playlist. If you want to watch through it all, I have all the streams in one whole playlist. If you just go to playlists on my channel tab, search through them, you'll find the Dark Souls 1 Massacre Run, and it's there if you want to look it up. But yeah, we did achieve it. It took us, we had some breaks in between, but it took us the whole year. We started it early last year, and we finished it in like October or November, I think. But yeah, we got her done. Well, now we're trying to do Dark Souls 2, and it's gonna be way harder. New enemy stands before Takachio. Enemies with unprecedented strength stand in Takachio's way, including the one-eyed swordsman, Yagyu Jubei. Dominate fierce battles and obtain new equipment and soul cores in order to grow even stronger. So we're also getting new equipment and soul cores in the DLC. So we're getting new weapons, new equipment, new soul cores, new enemies. The list just goes on and on. New Horizon, Enlightened One's Journey. The Enlightened One's Journey, a difficulty mode that exceeds the Shogun's Journey, is now available. This mode offers more possibilities for growth, including stronger equipment, additional soul cores, higher level caps, and higher value caps for caps through soul matching. So and we're getting more, and we're getting an additional new game plus mode. So instead of so it's technically it's a new game plus 2. So that's being added to the DLC as well. And there's nothing that mentions anything, at least that I've found. There's nothing on the website that shows what that gun ability was. I'm assuming that's probably like some kind of soul core or skill or something of that nature. Whatever it is, I gotta freaking find out what it is, because I'm going straight for that as soon as I find out what it is. Definitely, really, definitely interested in that for sure. So, and then other new elements: new guardian spirits, skills, martial arts, ninjutsu, omeo magic, graces, and more. Then a couple little notes down here. This content requires the full version of the game, which is sold separately. The content of the season pass is the same as each individual DLC set. Please be careful not to purchase duplicate content. Completion of the main game may be necessary in order to access certain content. Just a couple little side notes there. So, so just a quick summary of everything we're getting in the Neo 3 DLC. We're gonna get new weapons. We're gonna get new weapons, new guardian skills. We're gonna get new weapons, new guardian spirits, new skills, new martial arts, new ninjutsu, new omeo magic, new graces, another new game plus level, brand new demon scrolls is what they're calling them, that basically allow you to increase the challenge of basically like a really hard battle scroll, from what I understand. Was there anything else that I'm missing? I think that's about, and new enemies and bosses, of course. So that's obviously going to be in there. But yeah, super hyped for this. The more I go through, like the more I hear about it, the more I'm just like really getting hyped to get back into Neo. I loved my playthrough of Neo 3. We ran around in New Game Plus for a while. We did some viewer streams where we co-opted some things. We'll probably do that again once we get going. As we approach that, the issue here, this is the issue we're gonna run into, okay? Beast of Reincarnation launches next week. We're going to be streaming Beast of Reincarnation Monday. That's how close this is. Beast of Reincarnation launches next week. And this DLC launches the 19th. I would be 2 weeks later. So we're going to have to take a break from our Beast of Reincarnation playthrough to jump back into Neo. But before we jump back in, we got to do some warm-up streams. So we're probably like a day or two before the Neo 3 DLC drops. We'll do a couple DLC. We'll do a couple like either Neo 2 streams or stream some more Neo 3 and kind of get warmed up and acclimated, and then dive into the Neo 3 DLC. And then once we get done with that, then you got Mortal Shell 2 that's going to launch right after that. You know we got to play that. So Beast of Reincarnation, we're going to focus on for as long as we can. But unfortunately, it's looking like we're going to have to put a pause on it at the very least and move on into other things. Plus the Duskbloods network test, if I get in, will be right after Mortal Shell 2 launches. August is about to be crazy, guys. August is about to be crazy. We all want to know. Keep one cut Neo 1 and Wolong 1. Oh, keep 1, cut 1. Neo 1 and Wolong 1. Keep 1, cut 1. Ooh. Keep 1, cut 1. Why? Why can't I keep them both? Alright, keep 1, cut 1. I would keep Wolong and cut Neo 1. And the reason is that I have Neo 2 and 3. Whereas if I get rid of Wolong, that's all the Wolong I got, right? Until Wolong 2 comes out, which, is however long from now. Early next year. So yeah, I think I'd pick Wolong to stay. Also, as much as it hurts, get rid of all the 3 Neos to play Wolong 2, or keep Neo and never play Wolong 2. Sorry, Matt. Dude, you can't be putting these... You can't be giving me these life or death questions like this. What? Get rid of all 3 Neos to play Wolong 2. No. No. Oh. No. I think I would do it. Well, no, by do it, I mean, I think I would keep Wolong 1. Or I think I would keep the Neos and not play Wolong 2. The Neo franchise is just too good. There's just no way I could get rid of all 3 Neos for one game, even though I know Wolong 2 is going to be amazing. Can you stream the test for the Duskbloods? Unfortunately not. If I get in, no streaming or picture taking is allowed. I don't even know if they'll let me talk about it. We'll have to see what happens. All right, last topic real fast before we watch this this trailer here that Dovahkiin brought. You would do the same? I must be right then. If Dovahkiin thinks it's right, it must be right. So the director of The Blood of the Dawnwalker says studios shouldn't build games around sales targets. The quote here is, when you create the game and you try to design the game to achieve the sales, it will fail from the start because the sales are secondary. This, I think, is actually a goated take. If you build a game with sales in mind, the quality of that game is going to be worse than if you were to build it with the quality of the game in mind. Because what you're doing is you're focusing on how to get money out of people rather than focusing on how to create an experience that people love so much they want to buy. It sounds like those two things would be the same, but they're not. There are all kinds of shady systems and trickery that you can use to get people to pay money for things. And they work. That's how gacha games got invented. Microtransactions exist because these things work to get money out of people. But the games themselves aren't good just because they're making a lot of money. Whereas you can look at a game like Elden Ring that was built clearly with the gameplay and passion of the project in mind. And if people liked it, great. But at the end of the day, they made what they believed was awesome. And it turned out to be awesome, and people bought it, and a lot of money, and it sold a ton of copies, right? This is the correct mindset. It's sort of like, it's like working out. If you work out with putting more weight on the bar as your goal, like as the core thing, if all you're focused on is putting more weight on the bar, you are not going to get as far as if you focus on working out in the right way to be able to get stronger. Those are two very different things. You can go to the gym every day and just throw more weight on the bar. And yeah, you're going to get stronger, but you're also going to run a big risk of injury eventually, and a whole lot of other things. You're going to hit plateaus. A lot of bad stuff's going to happen. But if you go to the gym with the goal of trying to learn the technique, focusing on your diet, figuring out the right splits to use, if you focus on all the things that go into making fitness successful, then you're gonna get stronger. Like, the strength will come, but you focus on all these other things that get you there. And that's the same way with game development. If you focus on all the things that make a great game, people will buy it. But if you focus on just trying to get money from people, then what's going to happen is the game is going to suffer for it because of your greedy little money grubbing hands. So this dude's a goat. I mean, I love the take here. Blood of the Dawnwalker is looking pretty good. It's one I've actually considered streaming. So and with this kind of mindset, I think we might actually try it out, because it seems like they're cooking up something and doing it the right way, which is important. Art above money. Yeah, exactly. Art above money. Now, there's limitations to that, right? Like, you can't just make a game that, you know, with a gameplay loop that's super boring or whatever, because you're focusing on, you know, like, it would be, you can't like make a Souls-like game with really bad gameplay and focus on like the story a ton and expect people to play it really, you know, like, and expect people to love it. Because in the Souls-like genre, gameplay is really important. It's what most people play it for. The story is kind of secondary, although there is some really rich, deep stories going on. You know, so there's limitations. But like, as a general rule, focus on the art and the passion and the game, and the sales come later, right? They come as a product of that, not as its predecessor. I bought Neo 3 on PS5, currently on Steam full time. I'm torn between buying Neo 3 a second time for the DLC. Do you not want to play the DLC on PS5? Is that why you're doing that? Because Sony is doing... Oh, okay. Never mind. Things, and I don't want to be part of the... you want to be part of the resistance. Hey, if it's... I'll tell you, time under tension is the key. I can take a 25 free weight and slow the movement down. I'm gaining just as much muscle without the danger of injury. This is true, bro. Hey, one of the things that I'll go on another rant here in a second. I'm just gonna rant all night tonight. We're gonna do a 5-hour stream of just me ranting and giving lectures about things. But anyway, back to my lecture. What really like revolutionized my weight training and just training in the gym was learning stretch bias and controlled form. So like, instead of just press, like you take a press down and you just bounce it off your chest and you're just like ripping that hoe out trying to look good for all the trainer ladies or something. Instead, you slow down the eccentric, give a slight pause at the bottom and the deepest stretch you can possibly get, press the weight up, and then repeat. Slow the eccentric down, deep stretch at the bottom, slight pause, and press the weight up. You have to use a lot less weight. You don't look good in the gym dumbbell pressing the 55s because you're doing, you know, a different kind of form that doesn't just let you rep out some 80s or 90s or whatever, right? You don't look good, but that much stress and time under tension that your muscles go through, especially the stretch at the bottom where you're doing the most damage to your muscles, not only is there a decreased risk of injury, it's also much more hypertrophic, which is just fancy word for your muscles grow. So, yeah, for sure. Rantathon. Yeah, we're rantathoning tonight. Bro, using a resistance band for tricep pull downs. I don't use resistance band. I use the cable machine though. I hit that cable machine and I just adjust my weight. Is the Sony boycott going well? I don't understand what's going on. So let's talk about the Sony boycott real fast. I want to talk about this just real quick. Now, listen, I understand. Look, you guys watch me. I talk about crap all the time. I give my opinions about stuff. This is what I do, right? People don't typically watch me for amazing, stunning gameplay like you would watch Scumnut for or Gino, right? Most people watch me because they heard me say some crap on a short and they come watch me to see me say crap live, right? That's just the reality of the fact. As much as I'd love to be the most goated Souls-like streamer that's ever existed, it's just not me. I love them. I'm just not like the best person that ever plays them, right? So I'm gonna give my opinion here, and it may not be popular, but I'm always honest with you guys. Okay, so I'm just gonna say what I think is true. If you don't like it, it's okay. You don't have to like it. I'm not, no hate on anybody. Here's the thing. I think the Sony boycott's silly, and this is why. To boycott Sony because they are getting rid of physical media and then run to other platforms that are either about to do the same thing or, in Steam's case, already did the same thing a long time ago. It's just kind of silly to me. Sony is doing what the customers have already told them to do with their money, not their words. The reason Sony is doing what it's doing is because physical game sales have declined so drastically over the past couple years that it doesn't make feasible sense for them to continue making physical copies. That's just the reality. People aren't buying them that much, and there are a ton more people buying digital. That's just the reality of the fact. And if you or I were in the same position with the task of leading a corporation, a big company, and doing what's best for the company to be able to continue to grow while also paying attention to the trends of your customer base, we would probably do the same thing. I would. You can hate me if you want to, but if I was the CEO of Sony, I would do the same thing. Now, I would probably do it differently. I don't think that I would like make an announcement and then not say anything, not address it, try and avoid it all until everybody just stops whining. I don't think I would do that. But the decision is the right decision. And like I've said many times, I'm going to beat this horse till it falls over and calls me papi. The issue is not the physical medium, it's the user agreements. If you're going to boycott Sony because of their user agreement that lets them do whatever they want to with their digital assets, including take them away from you after you spent money to buy them. And you don't actually own anything that you buy from them. They're just licensing to you. It's a glorified rental, right? That's what they should be boycotted for if you're going to boycott them for anything. Don't boycott them for making a good business decision because people aren't buying physical games anymore. Boycott them for taking advantage of their customer and making them sign a predatory user agreement. That's what the boycott should be about. But even in that case, I don't think that that's really the right move, because if you were to do that, you'd have to boycott everybody, because everybody uses the same kind of user agreement. Xbox, Steam, PlayStation, Nintendo, it's all glorified rentals. The problem is industry-wide. This is not Sony's issue. The issue is the industry. We need laws in place to protect consumers from everyone, not just Sony. Sony's just the one taking the heat right now. But the problem is widespread, right? So I think the Sony boycott is silly. There are legitimate reasons to be upset at Sony, but to be consistent, it just doesn't make a lot of sense to single out Sony for doing something like this, when all they're doing is making a decision that you or I would probably make in the same position, and all the other ones are going to do it. They just haven't told you yet. Sony just told you. Take it for what it is. That's what I think. 2 second, 2 second bottom on the eccentric. You have to try it. Some of the best pumps I've had. 2 seconds is a lot. I do probably about a half second to a second. 2 seconds, yeah. I might have to try that. I trust Steam far more. Which is, I'm not saying you don't have to trust Sony. I wouldn't trust Sony either. And I do think Steam has a better business model and is led by more consumer-centric leadership. But Steam has the same type of thing. Like their user agreement is just as bad. The stats on digital are misleading. They place games that are digital only into the 70% digital stat. But regardless, Sony is untrustworthy as a whole. Well, yeah, they are. Look, almost every company is untrustworthy as a whole. At the end of the day, a company exists to make money. And they make that money at your expense, literally, right? So I don't think we should trust anybody. There are certain companies that have earned more trust, like Steam, From Software, so there are certain companies that you can trust more than others. But at the end of the day, the company is not out for your best interests. They're out to make money for the company. So it's always a give and take relationship. You're never going to avoid that. Now Sony might be worse. I'm not advocating for Sony. I'm just saying this is the truth of the matter. But yeah, and I don't know. It's a lot. It's a lot to think about. It's a lot to go over. I think digital is legitimately a better product too. Here's what I think Sony should do instead of get rid of physical media altogether. What they should do is keep physical media alive, but in a collector's edition format. So instead of just doing a standard disc for every single game that comes out, do collector's editions only. Charge a premium for those that really want physical copies. Give them some extra bells and whistles, a cool case, a figurine, and all kinds of cool stuff with this collector's edition. And those that still want physical media can spend the extra to get all the cool things plus the disc. And keep it alive that way. Don't throw it out completely. That to me doesn't make much sense in my opinion. Sony shareholders just mad because they aren't getting revenue from a booming resale market. That is true. Look, there are a lot of perks to digital on the business side, obviously, right? The resale market, the cost of printing the game. They have more control over the IP. There are a lot of those types of benefits. But the other reality is, now this is something that I don't think a lot of people talk about. If you take away resale, pirating is going to go up. So I don't really think they're going to gain much from the ability to not resell the games. Because I think people are just going to start pirating more. And then you may not get then it might even actually hurt them in a certain way, right? So I think that's one aspect of it that kind of ends up balancing that point out, though. Which there was, hold on, I actually saw something about something like this that was crazy on this very topic earlier today. I thought I saved it. It was okay. Hold on, let me search it. Mm. Oh yeah, maybe it's right there. This. Okay. This is gonna make you guys even happier. This is gonna make you guys even happier. So, in the midst of the whole physical media drama, Sony has made yet another move that makes it all way worse. They just can't help themselves. They have just announced a brand new record player after announcing, just weeks after announcing that physical media for video games will be ending in 2028. They announce a new they announce a new physical media player for music. At this point they're just trolling, right? This has to be intentional. There's no way they did this and not realize how it looks. I honestly couldn't believe it when I saw it. I was like, holy crap. They do not give two F's about the customer, do they? They do not care about you at all. I will say that. That's why I said I'm not trying to defend Sony. I'm just pointing out what I think is true. But yeah, you can't buy a physical video game, but if you want to buy a goddamn record, well, go ahead. In fact, they're gonna build a brand new record player for you, specifically for you. The benevolent Sony. Wonderful. I just think Steam does well by indie studios and how things are going. We are in the stage of indie developers, and it's forcing AAA devs to cut as well. Steam is the king of indie. That is 1,000% true. There's a reason, like 90% of indie games release on Steam and not on console, right? Because there's so many barriers to get into the console market, but with Steam it's very easy to develop and get a game on there. And I do think you're right, Steam is much more indie friendly. Sony getting rid of discs was just the straw that broke the camel's back on top of an anti-consumer empire. I mean, yeah, you're not wrong. Sony is, they're catching the heat for everything that's already happened. I mean, they brought it on themselves, I guess. But, if you just take a step back and look at the broader picture, to me, it just seems like everybody's kind of focusing on the wrong thing. Sony's taking the fall right now, which I'm not really like sympathetic towards them. I don't care that people are angry at Sony. I'm just speaking purely from a fact-based, logical, analytical opinion, right? If you just look at the facts, that's just how it lays out. Sony could catch a bunch of backlash. People boycott them. They lose millions and millions of dollars. They backtrack on physical media. None of that would matter to me. I'd be fine with all that. I'm simply just saying what I think is true. All right, so I need advice here. Which one should we watch for this? Which one would be good? Let's look for gameplay. First 22 minutes. Ooh. This is Re-Reckoning. Oh, Fighting Cowboy played it. I didn't know that. Interesting. Very interesting. Weapon Showcase. Okay. I guess it's not gonna. There we go. Weapon types and gameplay. Would that be a good one? Let's go back up to the top here. Ability preview. That one looks like he just filmed a TV screen or monitor or something. Honestly, the gameplay is fine. So like back here. Like this top one from IGN, would that one be good? Or is there something down here? Or maybe is there a gameplay trailer for it? Official gameplay trailer? The IGN one? Okay. Maybe we won't watch the whole thing, but we'll watch at least a good portion of it.
From the
Alright.
beginning, we were wrong.
Alright, here we go.
And only now, well,
Let's see what it's all
of
about.
the conflict, have we begun to understand the mistakes we have made. We lived in harmony among the Fae, in a world awakened to new magic. Perhaps we should have foreseen what might be born on this rising tide. What force might awaken. A force powerful enough to twist even the eternal and immutable Fae folk.
Where's the gameplay at? I hate it when you click on a gameplay trailer and they show you a bunch of cinematics.
Singular among his people, he was all that other Fae were not. Aggressive, ambitious, visionary. He had power like none we had ever seen.
There we go. This looks like some gameplay up ahead here.
Of dust. Scatter before the
What's up, Mike? Yeah, this game's been it's a little up there. It's an unk of gaming. Alright, it's got some swingage. Getting some swingy swing.
Stay away.
Stay away. What? Definitely one of the games of all time. Some people have talked about this game in the past. I remember somebody bringing it up on stream a while back.
No child.
Help! Anybody!
I think I've actually watched, not this, but I think I watched a different trailer for it.
You up there, please help me. Please. More mortal scum.
Now that I see it again.
All die.
Oh, we got a dodge roll. So it's a Souls-like. This is just a Souls-like game. Is there stamina? Doesn't look like it. Looks like no stamina. Voice acting is peak.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. If you hadn't come along,
It's more like a single player WoW.
you before on the slab. You
Single
were
player
dead.
WoW.
It worked. By the tome, it worked. You're alive.
What happened to me?
You died.
Of course.
I don't know how or even where, but your body was
I died.
remade in the Well of Souls, and somehow it worked. The well restored
did.
your soul to your body, and it worked. We
Holy
must
God.
get to Professor Hughes right away. He'll have questions for you. Oh, no doubt. But we must get to Hughes. He'll be in his study on the ground floor. The Tuatha are coming in through the lower levels. If we hurry, we should be able to beat them to the top. Take these. They'll help keep you safe long enough to get to Hughes. Now,
The
let's
voice
get
acting is
going.
pretty good. Try the official gameplay. It showcases more weapons.
Oh, my. You don't know? Perhaps the process...
This one? This one's shorter. This one might be the one I've already watched, but we'll see. If not, if I have watched it, I don't remember much about it, so watching it again wouldn't
I
hurt.
have seen the future. This is my gift.
It looks pretty good for its time, like honestly.
I have seen empires fall and mad kings rise. I have seen the immortal armies of our foes sweep across our borders.
Oh dang. That's like a wizard.
That was before
Bro, the
you
spells
died.
look pretty sick.
And your story began.
Oh, Daddy likes the big sword, whatever that was. Give it to or like Aquaman spear or something. Double dagger of light.
For each life,
That's
a
pretty good.
reckoning.
2012. So this is back in PS3 days. Wow. That looked pretty good. Are you not entertained? There's a freaking fly in here. I hate the flies, bro. The flies this year are awful. That did look pretty good. Hold on, let's look at this. We'll watch this one real fast too. It's pretty short. It says it's something about combat systems.
Peggy 18.
Combat system trailer. A hero's guide to Amalur.
The time when Amalur could be saved by talk alone has long passed, and the Faithless One must do battle with many fierce creatures in order to save the besieged world.
Weapons out, eyes sharp. The ruins are full of boggarts and sprites.
The battle is more than just attacking an enemy with your weapons. It's about the delicate balance of magic, physical strength, subtlety, stealth, and even fate itself.
Oh, you can do karate?
As your hero engages the enemy in combat, he will
Oh, the
discover
last
and
weapon?
create combinations of
I
magic
noticed that, the one he, like,
spells,
spun
weapons,
around him.
armor, and attacks. Certain combinations will create special attacks that can be linked. During a Fey blade
Dang,
attack,
bro.
a short delay before your second strike can send your enemy skyward,
Oh, that's
then
cool.
be shot at with arrows. But this is just one of the combinations
Well,
your
you can
hero will
juggle 'em in the
discover
air, I
while
guess?
in Amalur. Heroic combat is a blend of style and substance. Knowing how and when to use these styles can greatly improve your
Was that the
fighting
chakram
powers.
deal?
But know this, these times have tested our mettle to the limit.
Studio 8 was created by a baseball coach who loved gaming. Really, was it?
Work at all ranges.
That's a goated
Heroes who like to get in
origin
the thick of
story.
battle adopt a more offensive melee fighting method. Ranged attacks.
Wonder
are the
how he
hallmark
learned
of
to
a patient
code.
and dexterous hero, firing off projectiles and picking off adversaries in the distance. All of these styles are enhanced with stealth maneuvers. Because
Reckoning
your hero
mode.
has no fate, he is unbound by its laws. For every enemy your hero defeats, he gains their fate. Varying one's attacks will increase the rate at which fate is collected in combat. When that fate has reached a maximum, he enters reckoning mode, sending a surge of fate energy outward all around your hero. Your hero can then unleash a fate shift kill. Blast of weaponized
okay.
fate energy that finishes your enemies with dramatic flair and gives increased experience.
Dude, that's pretty cool. That's a cool
The
system.
enemies and bosses in Amalur can be fierce and challenging, but each have weaknesses that can be exploited. The skeletal Fairgorta are immune to bleeding or poison damage, so a melee
Fairgorta?
style with a heavy weapon would be most
Hey,
effective.
big bonk.
Conversely,
Big
you may want to
bonkers
stay
unite.
as far away as possible from the giant Bolgans. A ranged attack with magic might prove to be the best method for taking them out. If you wandered into a cave of the bat-like kobolds, a stealth style would be best to employ. From the carrion-eating Krudok that lurk in forests to the fierce warrior-like Niskaru hunters, Your method of attack may vary, but if your hero is to survive on his perilous quest, he must be able to effectively attack and defend himself at all times. Every situation he encounters will require a cunning and skilled approach, but ultimately, it will form the type of hero the Fateless One becomes.
To be continued. Very interesting. That looks pretty dang good for a game that old, I'm not gonna lie. That's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Did someone say bonk? Someone did. That someone was me. I'd pay handsomely to sniff your gaming chair. Wow. Hit me up in the DMs with an offer and we'll see about it. I hated those big red dudes. Oh, are they hard? Wow. What a stream. Thanks, guys. It was a fun night. I enjoyed it. Dark Souls 2 is peak yet again, even though I died a lot, but it was a lot of rage to be had. I guess that's a good thing. No stream tomorrow, obviously. We don't stream on Wednesdays usually. We'll be back on Thursday. We're going to try Mistfall Hunter. And then Friday's Relic the First Guardian. Should be a good couple streams. I'll be very sore probably. I'm about to head to a basketball camp. It's my last camp of the summer. And I got to play against a bunch of kids. So I'm probably going to be very sore when I get back on Thursday. But we'll do a stream on Thursday. We're going to have fun on Mistfall Hunter. Hopefully Relic the First Guardian turns out to be better than it is reviewing so far. And Beast of Reincarnation on Monday. Super excited for that. Peak Souls 2. Amen. Amen. Like I said, the combat was revolutionary for its time. It looked, yeah. Games back then did not look that good. It was genuinely surprising to me. The way I had a leather chair like that. And it was a sweat magnet. I am sweating pretty bad right now. It's not, I don't think it's leather though. Maybe I'm wrong. Could be wrong. Anyway, have a great night. Thanks to all the channel members. You guys are awesome. Thanks for the support. Thanks for the super chatting. Of course, Doverkeen, you're amazing. Thanks to every viewer, whether you just lurked, if you chatted, if you left a hate comment, whatever. If you watch what I do, I really appreciate you. Thanks for chilling with me. I'll see you guys on Thursday. Peace.